the NFL draft. Shefty loves the chimes. Let's do some QB quick reads with Manuel. EJ, let's talk about some of these quarterbacks. Everybody has seen Jalen Milroe. That's Aaron Rodgers. This is Jalen Milroe. What do you like about Jalen Milroe?
Yeah, the big word that comes to mind, guys, is weapon. Like, when you look at this guy's tape, he can do everything. Now, is everything great? No. But when he takes off and runs, I think he's the defensive coordinator's worst nightmare, and also his ability to throw the football down the field. I would love to see him go somewhere where they allow him the time to develop. I think he'll be a great pro.
We'll talk more about him in a minute. Let's talk about Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. Not everyone has seen a lot of him. What do you like about him?
Yeah, one of the biggest thing is his accuracy. I mean, this guy led the SEC. Again, one of the best defenses in the country in that league, but also his ability, again, to go through his reads. He's calm. He's collected. He reminds me a lot of Derek Carr in his pocket posture, and also his ability, again, to hit guys open, throw into open windows, and then, again, coming from Lane Kiffin's offensive style, I think that's going to translate well to the NFL, too.
And then there's one other name that the draft people have gotten excited about, and that's Tyler Shuck. Talk about him.
Don't sleep on Tyler Shuck's athleticism. I think when people look at his tape, they'll see all the great throws. They'll see the cool arm angles. He'll break the pocket right here. He's going to do a really nice one. I mean, that's a sweet throw. But also, his ability to take off and run, I think, is something that teams don't really value as much. He ran a 4.6 at the combine. He's 6'4", 6'4.5". This is a guy that's also mature. He's older. So I think he's a safe pick, somebody that you can get in that quarterback room. He's going to understand how to learn offenses. I got a lot of respect for his coach, Brian Brom, so I think he's prepared and ready to go and be a good pro in the league.
Yeah, he's 25, almost 26 years old, and to your point, Mel Kiper calls him an LTPer. He looks the part.
Absolutely.
Big, strong, great athleticism. This is your big board. Talk to me about this top of this big board here. How many of these guys do you think should go in the first round?
Yeah, I think 4 of them. I think Ward, Sanders, Shuck, and Dart all go in the first round. And potentially, guys, depending on need and how teams move around, I can also see Jalen Milroe going in the first round.
Shefty, the over-under at ESPN Bet is 2.5 quarterbacks in round 1. You don't bet. But if you did, which side of that would you lean toward?
The logic tells me the under. But I will say this. Here's the danger.
Shocking.
Here's the danger. You could get, well, you will get Cam Ward 1, and then Shedeur Sanders somewhere, I expect, 2. And if and when that does happen, which we would think would, which you never know, I think then you always have the chance of a team like the Giants or Saints, who doesn't get a quarterback, move back up ahead of the Cleveland Browns at 33. I think the realistic number is 3. But I don't feel confident in that. How about that?
That's stunning to me, Greeny. Like, if we go back a couple of years ago, and again, you look at some of the better organizations when they proactively drafted a quarterback. The Ravens have Joe Flacco. They trade up to 32 and get Lamar Jackson. The rest is history. The reason that last pick is important, you get the 5th-year option. When we're seeing the extensions now, $45, $50, $60 million a year to play quarterback, it's a no-brainer to get that last year, even though it's fully guaranteed. So if I'm Team X and I need a quarterback, 32 is the basement, Adam. I'm going up and getting that quarterback. I can't imagine we don't get at least 3.
The issue, again, I think, is we know the need of the position, but when you talk to the teams about the quality of the players, some of them just don't have first-round grades.
Adam, context is everything. If your quarterback is Tommy DeVito or Mason Rudolph, Tyler Shuck looks really like a first-round quarterback. Yeah, like, context is if we were running a football team, guys, I'm just telling you, like, you want to have a beer better. If you're in the NFC East and you're going against those quarterbacks you named, and Jalen Hurts and Jayden, like, you have to go get a quarterback that has a chance that you could go win with.
But we said the draft is about value. And there is no position more valuable than quarterback, but the value is not with the quarterbacks in this draft.
Yeah, but it's also about need, too, and that's the big thing. And I kind of get where Mike is going with that. If you have to have a quarterback, you got to move up and within the first round to potentially get them.
And that's where
a team like Cleveland. Right, sure, but you still got to take them. You still got to get them. And the question was, how many quarterbacks go in the first round?
Right.
That'll lead to it.
The draft may be about value. Team building is about reason and opportunity. And when you have an opportunity to get a quarterback like the Giants did last year, when 6 were in the top 12, and you don't get one in the first round this year, who's playing quarterback for you beyond Russell Wilson where you have a chance to meaningfully compete. I know Shug may not be perfect. I agree with EJ, love his upside, like Jackson Dart. They may not be perfect, but again, when you're building a roster, you have limited opportunities to improve.
And it's also up to your team and your coaching staff to take that quarterback and make sure that he becomes the quarterback that he will. Because a lot of people did not have a first-round grade on Bo Nix last year, and Sean Payton loved Bo Nix, drafted Bo Nix, and almost turned Bo Nix into the rookie of the year in a draft where 6 quarterbacks went in the first round. So that gets you back to the importance of coaching and being in an organization that's going to support the quarterback, which doesn't always happen with some of these teams that need these quarterbacks.
Let me add to what you just said. 6 quarterbacks didn't just go in the first round last year. They went in the first 12 picks. And that's what tends to happen is I think the whole thing hinges on when Shedeur goes off the board, which is to say if he gets past New Orleans, then I agree with you. We may be looking at a night where only 2 quarterbacks go in round 1. But if he goes off the board at 9, now I start to see panic.
I'll say this. We ain't getting 4 in the first round.
Okay, fair, but
we're not getting 4 in the first round.
We're not getting 4 in the first round.
Okay, but how does New Orleans, and I'll go back to New Orleans, what you said, how do they not take Shedeur Sanders? If you know that Derek Carr can't start the season because of a shoulder injury, you're going to play with Jake Hanner or Spencer Rattler, I think, is on the roster as well.
He's on the roster.
And sure, they can develop, but this is the first year of Kellen Moore's tenure as a head coach. He's not going to start this thing with those guys. Truthfully, he's going to take a first-round quarterback. You got to take Shedeur Sanders if he's there.
Well, I mean, what it really comes down to, if you want to look at the debate that Schefter and Mike Tannenbaum are having, and you're sort of leaning in a little bit on Mike T's side, I heard you say it the other day. You don't marry someone you like. You marry someone you love. When you draft someone in the first round.
That's not what Crosby, Stills, and Nash said.
What's that?
Crosby, Stills, and Nash, love the one you're with.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
Well, but sometimes you may hold out hope to love that quarterback, but sometimes you really like that quarterback, and in your situation, you decide to get married. People settle all the time, right? And there are teams that settle as well.
Okay, so we had a whole plan for that conversation.
Right. By the way, I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
A random GM, not going to be named, just texted me. For what it's worth, I agree with you. Dart, Milroe, Shuck, not first-round quarterbacks. It will be 2 quarterbacks in round 1. Random GM.
Is that right?
Correct.
Does he need a quarterback? I'm curious. Does he need a quarterback? I'm just curious.
Just telling you.
Okay. Yeah. But Greeny, let's say that.
Give Joe Shane my best. What's
that? Greeny, let's say that's true. 2 weeks from today, when you're hosting Get Up, the question's going to be, who's the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh, in Cleveland, in New Orleans? These teams still need quarterbacks.
Pittsburgh is in real trouble. Let me get up and go. We have more time. Again, we're not getting to any of the things.
Xin chào các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng. Vòng ở đây của mình sẽ có tiêu đề là kim cương. Và hôm nay vòng là mình sẽ có tiêu đề đá quý. Bây giờ bắt đầu làm nhé. Thôi.
Chưa mi